I can sense that I will get there soon if things don't, like, if we don't pick up the pace on things. And I'm just gonna have to push through. Like, even if I just shoot.
The first thing you're gonna do is have some water on the stove boiling, and when that reaches a boil, add your salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, as well as a splash of vanilla. You stir it all together, and we're just gonna let that simmer in the meantime while we get our bananas. This smells really wonderful when it's done. So here we have 4 bananas, and I am just going to separate them, and I'm going to carefully slice the top as well as the bottom of the banana, and then I am going to take my knife and bring it down the center of the banana to create a line, and that just makes it easier to remove the skin. So as you guys can see here, green banana is harsher to take off than obviously ripened bananas. However, I'm wearing gloves because honestly, it's something that I don't know. Like, I don't know why it happens, but green banana skin will stain your fingers. So honestly, as a true yachty, you could probably just put a little bit of oil on your hand and just do it. But I just wanted to wear gloves because I just did not want to be bothered with the stain. Right here, I am slicing up my peeled bananas with a little bit of the skin. There are benefits in banana skins. We also added some coconut milk from the can, whole fat. So now that your water is hot, you're going to take your blended green banana and slowly pour it in the pot and stir. You can use a whisk. I just used a slotted spoon because that was what I had at the moment. And honestly, you're just gonna stir it until everything is well mixed in. And then you can just put your spoon aside and cover your pot, putting it on a low heat. After 20 minutes, you're gonna just stir in between before we get to this point, but once that 20 minutes pass, you can go back in and stir your porridge, and you're gonna see that the texture is gonna be really creamy and a little bit thicker. That's the starch from the actual banana. So once it reaches here, it is ready to be sweetened. So this is a dairy-free recipe. So I use my Ripple plant-based milk, and that is replacing evaporated milk as well as the sweetened condensed coconut milk, because I do not want to be using dairy right now. I go back and forth, but today I wanted it to be completely dairy-free for people who want to enjoy this without all of the milk. As I put in my sweetened milk and my plant-based milk, I just stir. And I pretty much just stir in as much as I want. I put in 2 cans of coconut milk because I am someone that likes my porridge to be a little sweeter than others. However, it is up to you. As you guys can see, I'm not wasting any coconut milk. I'm gonna do a little bit more stirring. And we just wanna make sure everything comes together. And me just kind of raising the spoon allows the porridge to just, come together and come together nice. There's my second can. Like I said, I like my porridge sweet. You don't have to have it that way. So we do one final stir. And I'm really happy with how this came out. This is the final product, and I'm just going to share it and serve it, and I'm definitely going to enjoy it.
ABC moved the show from its traditional Monday night slot to Saturday in the spring of 1990.
Today I am making Jamaican mannish water soup, and here is my pumpkin. So I'm going to start by emptying the middle and taking out the seeds. I'm not going to need this whole pumpkin piece, but I am going to use as much as I can so that way the soup can have some color later on. If you want to use your seeds later on, you can. They make really good snacks. Moving forward, I am going to remove the pumpkin skin. Honestly, cutting the pumpkin is not as easy as I'm making it look, and like I said, use a knife at your own risk. Honestly, most people boil their pumpkins and peel the skin, but it never really occurred to me because this is just the way that I do it, and trying the other way never worked for me, so this is what I am comfortable doing. But all in all, do what works best for you in order to get your pumpkin skinned and ready to consume. As you can see, I am cutting my pumpkin into really small pieces, and I do this because I find that it helps your pumpkin to break down easily. So essentially, I don't have to use a blender or anything to make my pumpkin pieces basically disappear in the soup. Having the pumpkin not break down in the soup is delicious sometimes, but I prefer for the soup to just take on the color of the pumpkin as well as the flavor. So it's really up to you and how you like to eat your food. Here we have our goat meat, goat skin, as well as goat tripe. Usually you use goat head, but I did not want that in my soup. We're now putting our meat in the pot, as well as garlic, pimento, thyme, and the pumpkin that we just cut up. You want to give that a stir and pretty much just leave it on medium-high heat until everything begins to boil. Oh yeah, do not forget your bouillon because that just kind of adds flavor. That's actually how I like to do it. Now I'm going to make my gluten-free dumplings, and I am just putting my flour as well as some psyllium husk, which you guys can see is that brown thing, and that just brings back the bounce and chew to your flour. I also added cornmeal because that is the flavor that I wanted for my dumplings. Don't forget your salt, and then you're just gonna mix that in. I think getting everything mixed together helps the dough form better, in my opinion. Next, I added some warm water. I use a thermal cup because it kind of regulates the temperature, so I don't have to constantly be looking out for warm water to be made for my dumplings. I really don't measure this. I kind of go by the eye, and you can see the dough coming together. I add a little bit more water here, and that's just going to help create the chew and the consistency of dumpling that I desire. Now I have on my gloves because I am basically going to start kneading this dough to make these little dumplings for the soup. This is something that you can do, and like you guys see me adding water. Again, if you want your dumplings firmer, less water. You want them softer, more water. So it's as simple as that. The dough, as you can see, is forming, and the psyllium husk really contributes to that flour-like texture that you guys see. Without it, gluten-free flour tends to be pretty dry, so I do enjoy it. So right now, I'm going to be forming my mini dumplings, and you can just break a piece and you roll it with your hands to create a ball like here. And then you kind of use your thumbs and go round and round. Just follow what I'm doing, and it creates sort of this flat round thing. So that's what these dumplings are gonna look like. As you can see, I've done the majority of them here. And we're just gonna fill up that plate because I just wanted a lot of dumpling in this soup. This soup has a lot of food in it, but that is how I like my soup. I like my soup to be rich as well as full of enough meat and eatings. So yeah, the dumpling is fine. Here we have carrots. Normally I do not like carrots, but I am making the soup for more than just myself. So I did not mind the carrots as long as they were not excessive. So cutting these down into bite-sized pieces. And the reason I'm doing this is because I am actually preparing my vegetables ahead of time, because these do not go in with the meats and the seasonings like you guys saw earlier. This is gonna go in later once the meat has cooked in the soup and the pumpkin that we put in has started to break down. I am cutting up these onions because onions are just a really great thing to put in your foods to season them, because essentially the vegetables going in will be like a second seasoning for your soup. To the right of the onions, you guys can see that I have some green onions, or scallions like we call them. And I pretty much just use the stalk, and I'm cutting them into big pieces because I like to pull it out after everything is done cooking. Again, I use red bell peppers as my tomato substitute because I just don't really eat them that often. I am becoming partial to tomatoes because I am finding ways to enjoy them without the repercussions, which is usually heartburn for me. Not too sure why that happens, but you know, I'm trying. Here are my vegetables. So you see that the soup is kind of boiled down a little bit. So we're gonna just stir it. And I'm gonna add in my dumplings. And at this point, the soup has probably been boiling for like 2 hours or so. I went ahead and also added some frozen corn on the cob. And here are those vegetables. And I'm going to now stir everything together. And you want to get all your fixins underneath the water because you want to ensure that they cook down. You also want to put in your hot pepper. That is mine right there. And yeah, stir really well. And go ahead and add a little bit more water. Then you want to also add some bottle seasonings. So that's my all-purpose seasoning. I also added in some meat seasoning from, I can't even remember the company's name, but you guys can see the bottle. Lastly, I added in some Slap Your Mama, and I know that might be controversial, but Slap Your Mama just has this really great flavor combination, and I add it to pretty much all my food as a base season, and it never fails me. So yeah, I'm just stirring in my bottle seasoning. And you want to stir so that way things are not sticking to the bottom of the pot, because if that happens, then it kind of can ruin the flavor of your soup, because maybe you will have a burnt taste because things are sticking. You guys just saw me pull out my Lorries. Lorries is always okay to use. Don't overdo it. Go back in with some water, and that's just because my soup is really rich, as you guys can see. One more good stir. And as you can see, the soup is there, and we're gonna put our stove up a little bit higher and cover the pot, and we're gonna let that boil out again. I forgot to add my green banana, so I just added that back in, and I'm stirring that around. And I also added some water on top of that as well. So here is the final product. I was really excited to have this soup because it just feels so at home for me. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well, because I definitely know that I will. story, y'all. Everything is just hanging out. But anyway, good morning, you guys. Today's another day. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the days because I don't even realize how much I like record until I'm getting ready to like start editing. So that's just what's happening. Girl, let me cover these. I'm gonna take y'all up off of the counter. This is festival though. It's gluten-free, you guys, so that's a plus. Today, like I said, I was trying to just kind of catch up and get to working on what I need to work on, you know. So I will check back in with you guys a little bit later. If you've reached this point in the video, definitely be sure to subscribe and, you know, look at my other videos. Check me out, okay? All right. Bye. I feel like I'm way too close to the camera, but basically, I don't know, I've been lying. I feel like I just have not been as productive as I wanted to, and it kind of feel like it all started because like about a week and a half ago, maybe 2, I had a flare-up, and I don't know, I feel like well, to give you guys a backstory, like I said, I do have chronic illness. I haven't disclosed that illness yet because I just don't feel that comfortable speaking on it as of yet until, you know, everything is worked out and I'm receiving the proper care, you know. But I'm going on 2.5 years now almost since I got diagnosed with this, and I feel like it starts to affect me mentally more. Like, it affects me physically, obviously, because it's a buildup of just symptoms and different things that happen over time. But like, you know, I feel like I have just been in flare, like I said, for the last couple of weeks, and it feels like what happens to my body is like this fatigue comes over me, and I'm telling you guys, like, everything feels next to impossible. I do one thing. Today, I think I spoke to you guys earlier. Today I did my laundry because I woke up really early. I woke up like 7 o'clock and I decided, let me just go ahead and do it. So that took a couple of hours, you know, the back and forth and everything. I didn't even put up my clothes yet, you know. I just put up the ones I needed to, like, you know, air dry, hang them up and whatever. But like, I didn't do much, and I'm telling you guys, I feel so exhausted. My mind doesn't even feel centered. Like, I keep getting this really terrible headache that I don't have the solution for, and I feel so like lost because I also feel like a part of like having chronic illness, and I put in quotes because I feel like, you know, I hate labeling it that way, but it is what it is. It's kind of like the symptoms kind of never end. You're just treating a bunch of things, you know. Of course there's medicine, but like for what I have, a lot of the medicine is like outdated and they have really adverse side effects that I don't even want to deal with on a daily basis. Plus, like, I go to the doctor really often. A lot of the times, as far as recently, it's feeling really hard, you know, because on top of this I also have, you know, other little findings that they find as time is moving forward, and it's kind of just like, I don't know, it feels like, I don't want to be like negative, it just feels kind of like I'm just here to expire, and that's kind of morbid, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, like, it's kind of like affecting my mental health. Like, I feel better than I have in a few months, but like when I have days or weeks at this point like this, it's really hard for me to do stuff. That's why I haven't even posted. You know, I posted the 3 videos last month, but I haven't posted anything yet for August. You know, I have 2 videos, I think, at this point. The reason I haven't posted them is because, you know, I'm just trying to find a way to market something else that I'm working on, as far as like, I guess, market it as something that's going to be incorporated into my YouTube thing. And then I also have to do some other things so I can make the other type of content I want, you know, because I don't necessarily want to just be a straight up just vlog channel, because me sharing every instance of my personal life is not what I want to do. And right now, quite frankly, my life is kind of boring. It's a bit mundane. You know, same things day in out, doctors, like, you know, battling internal thoughts, trying to stay productive, you know, self-motivating, you know, just a lot of things that a lot of people that are probably going through at the same time frame. So like, yeah, it just feels really, it feels really crazy to me. You know, as far as like, it's really hard to pull myself out these ruts, and also feeling like I don't necessarily have anyone to talk to, you know. But it's what it is. I'm just in a phase, like, I kind of accepted the way things panned out, because number one, let me just make sure I don't want my computer like to close out, because I'm using the light right now. But basically, I don't want anyone to, I guess, be overwhelmed or burdened by what I'm feeling right now. My skin is looking better lately. That's good for me. I got that mustache though, but them's the breaks. That's what happens when you like get into your 30s. So I'm not even phased. I don't even care. Extra hair places you ain't never had hair, gray hair in places that you ain't think you would have gray hair. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. It's what it is. I don't know. Anyway, I just feel like I'm at a point in my life where everything is so, it feels pivotal, and I hope that's the right word in that sentence and context. But when I say that, it's kind of like, it feels like I'm trying to, I'm hoping that the decisions that I make in the next few months, before the year ends, you know, are those things that I'll be able to look back on and be like, you know, it was this moment that made my life trajectory change. Because right now it feels pretty like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I'm obviously just ranting or whatever because I can, you know, it is what it is. But I just feel like, my goodness, like, on top of just life and everything happening all together, it's just like being and feeling sick and feeling like your body is not yours anymore is really exhausting. And I think that, especially when you have, like, if I had something as dire like going on, and I don't even know if I do, but let's, for instance, I had something that people know is serious, and they leave you, you know, kind of alone, like, you know, cancer or something a little bit more detrimental, you know, that has the stamp of the fatality stamp. I would feel, it feels like people would kind of, you know, like maybe I want to say people, I'll say me, I wouldn't feel as hard on myself, because I feel like, you know, all I can do is try with that. But like, the way that, I guess, I don't even like to call it a disability, what I have going on is a spurt of just random feeling sick here, feeling sick there, having pain all the time, feeling uncomfortable in my body, managing symptoms that sometimes you don't even know the root cause of. Like, for instance, I had like swelling and like like, just, it's a bunch of things, like, I don't even know. Anyway, it's really hard, because it feels like I feel like I should be doing more, and it's just like, sometimes I want to do more, but I literally can't. So that's the frustrating part. But you know what, you know, I don't even want to talk too much longer about it. I'm just gonna keep my eyes forward. Right now I'm working on editing what will be the 4th vlog. I don't know why I feel stuck in it, but I'm gonna just try to push past it. I know I was supposed to be doing like, you know, maintenance and stuff, but I don't feel like it. I'll do it soon. I am trying to keep my nails, like, you know, strong, by wrapping them so they don't break, because they grew really nicely this time, you know. But besides that, you know, I hope I can manage for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, I feel like I should probably do groceries, and you know, when I get that done, I feel like I'll feel better, you know, because we got back a fridge, which is great. I don't know if I shared that, but our fridge was down for a while and we were having a little bit of issues with, you know, the companies delivering them and, you know, just a bunch of nonsense just wrapped up in it. But anyway, we have a fridge again, thank God. Yeah, we have a fridge again, so hopefully I'll be able to make some personal content around that, you know. I'm trying to, I think I feel a little bit of fear actually, like posting on YouTube is one thing, but I actually feel fear posting, going back to posts on like Instagram or TikTok, and because I am starting my Instagram again, because of the fact that I just, when I was going through everything, I had something happen and my account got like shut down on Instagram, and I just let it go. Like I didn't even want to go through the whole thing of trying to get it back, so I just said, you know, fuck it and just let them do whatever. So I started over. TikTok, I haven't even dived into it, and like I said, why it feels so hard is because it's so personal. I don't know, even though this is personal, right, but that just feels really personal, and I think maybe the chances of being visible on those platforms feels a little bit higher once you kind of put yourself in this form. So yeah, I don't want to talk anymore. I mean, even though I've been talking for 10 minutes, but I don't want to talk anymore. I'm gonna come back. I have some things to do and I have some planning, because, you know, I think to me right now, if I have to live longer than now, this will literally be my last year just kind of living like this. I've been living pretty close to damn near recluse, and a lot of it has to do with just trying, I guess I was trying to protect myself from the trauma, but also not sharing the trauma that I was going through because I just didn't want to be judged, or I didn't feel like diving into things that I haven't even worked through yet, you know. But anyway, I'm out for now. I will see you guys in the next part of this vlog. You know, yeah, hopefully the rest of the week feels a little bit better than today, and I hope that you feel better than you do if you're watching and feeling the same way I do right now. So yeah, I will see you guys. I'm always in your face, but that's how I talk to people. Well, I don't know, I'm not gonna be in your face when I'm talking to you, but that's how I will talk to you guys on YouTube, because it's just like, here's what it is. I'm here, let you know I'm talking to a friend. Okay? I give you guys a sneak peek of what I'm working on, but that's it. Obviously, I don't want to dive too deep into it until it's finished, but yeah, I'm excited for it, because, you know, it kind of gives me a chance to get back into my writing bag, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, anyway, again, like I said, I'll see you guys whenever I decide to pick up the camera again.
The diaper party helped so much. Wow. Take them back and get different sizes.
So I think it's good, like I said, to say out loud what you want and how you want